Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Reach out to me directly for pricing at tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Launched in 2020 as a 120-piece limited edition, this is the Grand Seiko Elegance hand wind SBGW264. As you can see, the timepiece 39 millimeters in diameter is 12.2 millimeters thick, 43.8 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip with a 19 millimeter spacing between the lugs. The watch wears beautifully as it is a classical dress watch. It fits well on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, and I could recommend it for a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters circumference. It wears well, it's very short lug to lug, and it's low enough that it'll easily slip underneath the dress cuff, no problems there. Taking a quick look at the hardware and the software, it has a pin buckle, as is traditional for a dress watch, combination of polish and satin, and it's a handsome looking piece with a strap to match. Large rectangular scale alligator leather on the top with a semi-gloss finish, a monotone stitch folded edge, and it's a dark brown color, and on the bottom a wonderfully buttery calfskin. I'm always impressed by these watches because it seems like Grand Seiko straps are always broken in. They feel so soft and fluid, supple, without even being broken in. No gouging, no crimping, no stress lines. This is as it comes from the factory. This is a brand new strap. Taking a quick look at the case, you can see that it is elegant, as the name would imply, but also handsomely detailed, as we have Zaratsu tin plate polish on the polished element. This is a manual polishing technique executed by holding the surface to be milled directly against a spinning tin plate. It is an artisanal method, and it means that this case is hand-finished, something you'll rarely find on Swiss watches in this price point. We also have a narrow case band, evocative of antiquity, as narrow case bands tended to be a feature of vintage dress watches. And you'll appreciate that there's a relatively spare bezel and a sloped case flank. You can see how it's kind of tiered, so the watch looks thinner than it is, as the case back is stepped back. It nestles down into the wrist, and then the case band, the bezel, and the dramatically domed sapphire are kind of set back from the edge. The sapphire is also box section and cambered to give it the look of a vintage plexiglass. We have a little bit of countersink to the crown, so it's actually inserted into the case band so it doesn't stick out quite as much, which aids the mission of elegance. We have a dial that is green metallic, a very subtle green metallic, almost a British racing green, and it's supposed to evoke the sensation of watching sunlight scatter through the verdant canopy of a summer forest. So we have this wonderful radial scatter pattern, all in green, with the twinkle of diamond-polished applique indices and hands to match. These indices, as well as the hands at center, are finished on micrometric diamond milling tools by artisans who create these parts all day long, and that's really all they do. It's a very specialized art. As a result, you have this dramatic break between the satin finish of the hand tops and the high polish of their razor edges. It's quite becoming. Taking a quick look at some of the functionality, you do have a hacking seconds function, a stop seconds function, so that you are able to stop the seconds and set this watch precisely against a reference time. Taking a look at the case back, you can see that this is 9S64. It is a limited edition. It is a 60th anniversary piece celebrating 60 years since 1960 and the first Grand Seiko watch. The watch is 30 meters water resistant, so it's not an aquatic timepiece, but with 120 made, it is very scarce and appealing on those grounds. Taking a look, you can see there's Côte de Genève, well, we'll call them stripes here since we're not in Switzerland. There's a lovely mirror polishing to the actual ratchet wheel that's over the barrel, and then it beats at 28,800 vibrations per hour. It pivots on 24 joules. It has a 3-day power reserve, a stop seconds capability, and take note, adjusted in 6 positions. What that means is that there's no place for deviation to hide. The 6 standard positions are crown left, crown right, dial up, dial down, crown up, crown down, and the chronometer test allows you to leave one position untested, which is generally where companies that want to hide inaccuracy in their watch, they'll work all of the inaccuracy into that one position, so the watch runs like a champ in 5 positions, and then the 6th position that's untested is terrible. Well, you don't have that kind of discrimination on your wrist. A watch has to be excellent in any orientation, so this watch is tested in 6 positions. As a result, its static timing accuracy is no worse than -3 seconds plus 5 seconds per day. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.